What's going on, everybody? This is Sean of Raw Select Music. Today I want to talk about this record right here. This is Melodiesinfonie. I think I said that right. I'm just going to call him Melodies for the rest of this review just to make sure that I don't screw his name up again. But this is his new album, A Journey to You, released on Jakarta Records. This was a record that I was really looking forward to. I was a fan of his previous release from 2016, Be Thankful. Definitely check this out if you're into some really cool, chilled out instrumental hip-hop. Really solid album, and it's an album that's grown on me quite a bit. But from being into this record, I heard the first track from this record, Ao Longo del Rio. I'm so sorry. And from the promise of that song, I got actually pretty excited about this record. And now that I've given it quite a few listens, I want to share my thoughts and opinions of this record with you guys and let you know whether or not I think it's worth checking out. So with that little introduction out of the way, let's get into this guy. So a little bit of background, if you're unfamiliar with who Melodies is, he is a beat maker, producer, multi-instrumentalist based out of Switzerland. He's been going for a while, and I think he gained a lot of his notoriety from having his tracks played on Selection Radio. But I actually found out about him through his release on Melting Pot Music because I'm a big fan of that record label. And from the sounds that I heard on this record, I figured I'd probably end up giving this record a shot. This was a record that I wasn't all that into when I first picked it up, but over time it's grown on me quite a bit, and I think Melodies does enough interesting things to sort of separate himself from all the other chilled out instrumental hip-hop beat makers out there. But what was most surprising about this record right here is he actually went in a completely different direction for this record. This is hardly a instrumental hip-hop beat tape, although elements of that do sort of sneak in here. This is honestly one of the most varied records that I've heard in a while, and not only that, it's probably one of the hardest to pin down to one particular genre that I've heard in a while, because Melodies doesn't really stick to one sound on here. I said that some elements of instrumental hip-hop do creep in here, but there's so many other elements in here as well. There's little flourishes of Brazilian music, little flourishes of broken beat, jazz, funk, soul, dance music. There's even one boogie track on here that really stands out because it doesn't really fit with the rest of the record, but I still like that track. Overall, I feel like this is a really sunny, pleasant, laid-back, chilled-out record to listen to. It does have quite a few tempo changes on here. Like I said, elements of broken beat show up on here, but the overall vibe that I get from this record is one of a record that's just really good to go out on the porch on a sunny day and just soak in the sun while having this in the background. While it is a pretty chilled out record, there's actually quite a few little melodic intricacies throughout this record. Specifically on that track that I just played, Keep On Searching. Keep On Searching has this really, really nice, beautiful, gentle piano playing mixed in with it. And there's lots of these little live instrumentation flourishes on this record that I think really help make it that much more interesting. Throughout this entire record, there's a lot of stand-up bass, there's a lot of like really dry, crispy drums, whether it's on some of the more hip-hoppy tracks or even on some of the more kind of like straight-up samba influenced tracks on here. It never really feels like there's one particular sound that this record sticks to, and it's actually just kind of more cohesive based on the general vibe of the record. Highlight tracks for me on this record include, like I said, the first song on here, the track that I played at the top of the video, Keep On Searching. I really, really like the outro track, which is criminally short, and I like what it does with the beat and the sort of really cool, subtle synth hits throughout the track. I like the interplay between the melody and the drums. There's this really cool little push and pull. And overall, I'm really happy with this record. It's one that I've been going back to consistently, and every time that I listen to it, I find new little things that I like. If you're in the mood for something that's a little bit more organic than your typical instrumental hip-hop release, and you want some little bits of live instrumentation mixed in with this sound, yeah, honestly, really can't go wrong with this record. The only real criticism that I have of it is that it can sort of fade into the background a little bit sometimes, and it becomes pretty easy to ignore. But when I do find myself myself really just making a concerted listen to really listen to the compositions that Melodies has created on this record, I find that it's actually a pretty rewarding record. There's some top-notch musicianship, there's some really nice melodies, there's some really sort of semi-somber but yet still kind of positive emotions that I feel on this record. And honestly, this is one of the best laid-back, chill-out records that I've heard in a while. If any of that sounds enticing to you, I highly recommend check out Melodiesinfonie, A Journey to You, released on Jakarta Records. Easily one of my favorite records of 2019. So that's going to be it for me today, guys. Thanks as always for watching. If you've given this record a listen, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. If you want to hear more of this record for yourself, please head over to my WordPress or Steemit blogs, because that's where I post music links to any of the records that I talk about on this channel. And as always, please head over to my Mixcloud page where you can check out Raw Select Radio, as that's where I post my Raw Select Radio show, which is basically the podcast audio component of this whole Raw Select music thing. Links for everything, as always, down in the description. So that's going to be it for me today, guys. Thanks as always for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. So until then, peace out!